Welcome to a get ready with me to go to work. My clock is my phone, so I can't tell you what time it is, but I think it's about 3 o'clock. I'm gonna start with this. Don't judge me if this is expensive. It was $25, but it was the only moisturizer it was at the store when I was out looking for one. Gonna get a nice thick amount. I woke up very nervous about an hour ago. I don't need to wake up until now-ish, but still nervous. This is going to be my second full work experience at this particular job. And yeah, I'm just nervous to see how it goes. Did the first one go fine? Like, technically yes. In every job there are, hiccups along the way, and especially when you're just starting it. So I am doing my best to be optimistic, which, as someone who is like optimistic to a fatal point, that's not too difficult. But I still am experiencing that anxiety. So moisturized. We love that. Okay, there's only a few makeup items I'm gonna put on today because various reasons, but mainly I don't feel like putting on more. So the next thing we're going to be doing is the mascara. Speaking of the devil, my alarm to wake up just went off. I kind of expect to get misgendered at this job because most of the people that I'll be working with don't have, I'm not going to like mentally or emotionally require them to have the capability of remembering that my pronouns are different than I appear. And in light of that, there's no point in me trying to appear increasingly masculine because they will assume that I am feminine anyway. So I might as well zhuzh it up a tiny bit. We love a mascara. It does so much for the face. I mean, so do lashes, but I am too fucking lazy for lashes. When I'm stressed, apparently swearing really does a lot. I feel so much better when I'm just saying shit. So unnecessary. Been told so many times, like, don't do it, but it helps so much. It's a little bit pointless that I'm putting this on right now because I am going to drink coffee for 30 minutes and then brush my teeth. But I want to start now because I have the motivation to do it now, and drinking the coffee will make me even more anxious. I feel like this is like the perfect shade for my face though. I've been using it for probably long enough that I really shouldn't be anymore. But it doesn't expire for a year. I don't remember when I bought it. It's the CoverGirl Color Prosecco Pop. I'm sure I've said it in videos billions of times, but it just works so well. Do I want to put on any eyeshadow? I think so. I'm sure that my face could use some thing to cover up the blemishes, but I'm so tired of trying to do that. So I'm just not gonna do that. I'm just gonna take like a sort of a taupe, very basic, just so that there's like the tiniest bit of color and it looks like I did something. Things look so different in the camera and then in the mirror that I have right here. Yeah, it looks almost the same as my natural color. Actually kind of makes me look like I just didn't sleep, which is fine because I did in fact sleep. I actually slept so much, but I feel like I don't feel tired, but I don't really feel super rested. But that may just be the anxiety being like, bitch, we have to go. So those don't look even to me. Why don't they look even? Probably because there's more light hitting one side. Alright, that's it. A bitch is ready. I am sitting outside of McDonald's right now, starting Pepsi, and that's a lot of brands right at the beginning of this, but I thought I would do an update since the last thing I posted was about being anxious about work. Since the day I posted that, I believe I've worked 3-ish shifts since then, and my nervousness has gone down significantly. I feel much more in control of what I'm doing at work. Not in control exactly, but like I feel like I know what to expect at least, and I'm still not entirely content with how the administration works, but it's definitely something I can deal with, and the HR person is very, very easy to talk to and also very responsive, so anytime I have a question, I can text her. And I know she'll even respond to me if I text her outside of the workday, but I want to be respectful of people's time, even though they may not necessarily be respectful of mine, and so I make a point to not text her outside of work hours. I had a replacement training shift this morning for a training shift I had a different day that didn't really happen, and I'm very pleased with how that went as well. I feel much more prepared, and I will have my first overnight shift later this week with a client that may need more assistance than others, and I'm looking forward to trying my skills at different things. So that's the update. Today is my first overnight shift, and checking in right now at 8:30ish. I finished 1 can of Coca-Cola as my warm-up because I wanted something to wake me up on the way here. I woke up at 6:30 to do this, but I had been awake earlier in the day, and I have some other caffeinated beverages with me, so I thought I'd do a little check-in each o'clock that I finish it and see how much it takes me and how I'm doing by the end of the night. It is 1:30 in the morning. I'm finishing off my first Celsius. I'm feeling like I probably won't need the second or third that I brought. I drank half of it around midnight, and then I'm finishing it now. But that was my second ever experience with Celsius, and I think that it is a energy drink which a much higher caffeine content than I probably need. I also was able to get plenty of rest before and after that shift, so I did only need one of them, but a Celsius has 200 milligrams of caffeine in it, which is at least 50 more than a Monster, which is, previous to this, probably the highest caffeine content beverage that I would drink on a daily basis. And on a regular day, I would probably only have 2 cans of caffeinated pop or 2 like large mugs of coffee. That would be my max caffeine limit. So I was very buzzed on that Celsius, and I had a hard time getting to sleep when that shift was over. But now I have 2 Celsiuses to use for whenever I need a instant energy boost. So good for me, and now I know. Get ready with me to go have my fingerprints taken for work, which I'm hoping I can get done today, but we will see. Starting with moisturizer. The reason I say I'm hoping to get this done today is because the place is in fact open. but I don't know if I'll be able to use the vehicle that I want to use to get there. The place that my job has decided I must do the fingerprints at, is in a town that is at least 45 minutes away, between 45 minutes and an hour, depending on traffic. And so I really don't like going there if I don't have like a long-term reason to be there. My partner currently lives in this town, but I can't stay there because we have guests also, so I can't go to spend time with my partner today because I have to come back to see our guests. However, at my partner's house is a shelf that I've been told I can have, and so picking the shelf up will make the trip like worth the effort if I can pick the shelf up and get my prints done. But in order to pick up the shelf, I need to be able to drive the van because the shelf will not fit in my car. My car has had issues, as viewers may or may not know, and the trunk does not, I don't trust it, so I've not been opening it. But even if my trunk did open, I really don't think that shelf would fit in it. Fuck. So clearly, to use this van, I need to have access to this van. But it's not my van, so I need to make sure the person using it normally isn't using it, and actively at this moment they are using it, so I have to wait. This fingerprint place also has normal business hours, as you may expect, and it's 10:30. They close at 5 p.m. So obviously I know that this foundation shade is a little too dark for my face, although that summer tan is helping quite a bit to make it less obvious. I have this absolutely ancient face powder that I'm gonna use to try and set it. I did consider doing eyeliner, but I'm not sure if I really want to now that we're at the point we are. So I think we're just going to move on to lip stuff. The fun thing about this makeup is that it's gonna be 80 degrees today, like over 80 degrees. And I know that the van does not have air conditioning. My car has air conditioning, but not that good. So either way, all of this is going to melt off when I sweat. Someday I will learn contour and I will use blush and highlighter and stuff. But for now we're going with this, which is very flat, I know. But it's doable, it's fine. And I'm just going to get my fingerprints done and move the shelf. Maybe. Alright, y'all. Your boy has just been like going through it this month. So let's talk about it, I guess. Now this month has just not been it for me. And we'll start where everything started, which was, I believe, actually, it started back when I got my car rear-ended the day before graduation. And that in itself was a whole thing, but it turned out fine in the end. But I had like an okay month, and then I ended up getting hired by this one place where I worked as an in-home caregiver and the actual caregiver work was perfectly fine. I enjoy doing caregiver work, which is why I applied for the job. But pretty much since the first day there, I was having issues with the admin and with the app that we use to communicate a little bit. There were a few different apps. They all are finicky in their own ways, and I was struggling to find the information, as well as the fact that the head office is an hour away from my house, and a lot of the instructions I was given related to like what to do were just like, oh well, if you have questions or if you need something. Questions I was allowed to text or call about, but they were like, oh, just stop by if you need more of whatever. Like, that's an hour away from me. I can't just stop by. It's super out of my way. I'm not gonna drive an hour to pick up new gloves, you know? So just a lot of things where it's like, it's not like the end of the world, but it's incredibly inconvenient. Then, about like probably 2 weeks ago at this point, my computer started to have an issue, and I don't need a computer for my job. This is just a thing that was also happening, which is that my computer, the little port where you put everything, where you plug it in to charge, just like got completely fucked somehow. I literally don't know how. It's probably my fault, because, well, I am a, responsible computer owner. I'm sure that I do things that would not be recommended, and so it probably is related to my owning it, but basically the little place where you put the charger into the charging port got fucked, and the charger, like, string was also messed up as well. So I took it down to Best Buy and had a very nice lady look at it for me, and she said, well, oof, this is an issue. We will need to take it to get looked at, like, have it sent out, and then when she was putting the information at the computer to try and prep it to send it out, the computer said, you can't do that, actually, and she wasn't entirely sure why, so we had to call another employee over, and they said, oh, well, it looks like because your computer is almost 5 years old, the company doesn't even make the parts for it anymore, so we can't actually send it out to have it fixed. So sorry. And of course it wasn't their fault, so I didn't say anything to them, because, like, they can't do anything about that. It's fine. But it was not super convenient for me, as the customer, to not be able to get it fixed. But luckily, my girlfriend knows some stuff about tech, and so do her roommates. So I had a plan that I would just go and get it fixed. So this was just a minor setback for me. I can do things without a computer. Then, like, a few days after that, I was driving home from work at night because I was doing an evening shift, and my car got hit by a deer. We love that. Or rather, I should say, I hit a deer with my car, because that is in fact what happened. However, my car is the one that got the worst of it, and I thought that it was pretty much totaled. I was able to get it home to my house, but it was leaking fluid. The hatch cover had, like, flew up and hit my windshield. Luckily that's not cracked, but definitely it was not drivable, so I was not able to get to work. So I did call my work directly after that happened. I probably could have waited, but I didn't want anybody to be in the lurch just because I couldn't get to work, because, like, again, not the client's fault that this happened. And so I told the work, like, yeah, I can't come in right now. There was a deer collision, and yeah, I don't have transportation anymore. And the job was super understanding of that, and I have been off for about a week, and I was able to get a ride to my girlfriend's place from my mother, who was very kind and took 2 hours out of her day to go there and back to drop me off. And then we were able to get the computer issue resolved. My computer body was not able to be repaired because of, I don't know, tech things. But everything inside the computer, the brain, works just fine, so we just moved it to a new shell. And yesterday, I officially resigned from that other job because I still don't have a working car, and so I still can't do it. But I also was planning to not stay at that job anyway because I really did want to work at a place where I, worked better with the admin and the technology and everything. And I've been doing job applications since Saturday. Today is Wednesday. And by since, I mean I did some on Saturday, and then I am doing some today because I was taking some time to recuperate and deal because, hitting a deer is quite a traumatic event. And yeah, but I got a response to one of the things that I did apply on Saturday, and that is to be an activities director's assistant in a care facility. And so I actually have an interview for that on Friday, so that's really good for me. And I'm looking forward to that interview. I'm not sure if I expect to get the position or not because I don't really know if I have the skills that they want, but I definitely think it's a job I could do, especially if I got some good training. And I'm also applying to some other things. So that has been my life for the last couple weeks, and I'm really hoping that this series of unfortunate events comes to an end soon because I'm kind of tired of it.